to Lunch with a Veteran. Okay. Um,
I enjoyed the lunch.
how about hold on one second. Okay, I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna redo it. What's your full name?
My name is Robert Hoyt Hayes.
Okay, let me get that first. Welcome to Lunch with a Veteran, and actually, we've already had, or he's already had lunch. I have not yet, but I'll have lunch after. And I'm here with Robert Hoyt Hayes. Okay, you're a veteran.
I am a veteran of the Marine Corps, served from 1963 to 1967.
Right, and you're also the brother of Diane Thackerson, who is former clerk of court and currently manages our probate department.
Correct.
And saves me all the time. Right.
Which she speaks highly of you,
Yes. Well, I speak highly of her because
she's a good girl.
I just think a lot of her, and she does such a great job for us. But so, do you go by Robert or Bob?
I go by Bob.
Bob? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being with me today.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. So, Marine Corps. What made you? Are you from this area originally?
Yeah, actually, I was born here and lived here until I was 10 years old, and we moved to Charlotte. So I consider that my home.
Sure.
And then after I got out of the Marine Corps in 1967, stayed in Charlotte for about 5 more years, and then moved up to Troutman, North Carolina, where I spent 34 years before returning here 10 years ago.
So you returned back to Shelby 10 years
10 years, yeah, because my parents were over here, and they had gone into from assisted living into a nursing home, and
Sure.
I had retired early and was looking for a smaller place than what we had. And although Shelby wasn't my first choice, it became my choice. So, and I'm glad to be back. Got a lot of relatives here, mostly cousins. My mother's family were 3. My dad's was 8. So that gave me a lot of uncles and aunts, and they all had a lot of children, and those children had a lot. So I got a number of second and third cousins. So I'm glad to be back.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you back. So why'd you go in the Marine Corps?
I don't really know, but I think I can say that I knew when I was about 10 years old that that's what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just followed through with it. When back in my time, there was a draft, which didn't bother me at all. As a matter of fact, on my 18th birthday in 1963, I signed up for the draft and went straight to the Marine Corps recruiter, signed up for the Marine Corps, and they put me on a 120-day delay that turned out to be more like 150 days. And I went to Parris Island left Charlotte on the 12th of September, arrived at Parris Island on the 13th, which happened to be Friday the 13th. And I asked myself, what the hell am I doing here as I stepped off the bus?
It was a real Friday the 13th.
It was the real Friday the 13th. Yeah. But like I say, I went ahead and did my time. And to me, I think it's probably the best education I got. Probably the most important thing I learned was self-discipline, which I will admit I did not have prior to going into the military. And second thing is the value of teamwork. And the last thing, and probably one of the most important things, is what I call people skills. And all of these things helped me later once I was out of the military, because I never meet a stranger, because I've already met him, and the chances are pretty much that I actually live with him for a number of years. So I think it's the best thing that happened to me, best education.
I agree. I was in the Navy for 4 years. It's the best real-world practical education I ever had.
And I don't know whether it makes your maturity come faster, but
it does.
Like I said, everything that I learned while I was in the service,
So let's talk about those 3 things. You said
self-discipline.
Self-discipline, including a maturity aspect.
Yes.
Then you talked about teamwork.
Teamwork.
And you talked about people skills.
People skills.
And I'll get to people skills. Let's start. I mean, people skill. A Marine with people skills.
Of course.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Let's start with self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
What is it and why is it important?
Okay, why is it important?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the discipline, then you're not going to be able to succeed. You have to have a goal, and you have to have the discipline to pursue that goal, even with a few setbacks.
Well, what if you get up and you don't feel good anymore?
You just gotta go. I mean, it's simple.
Yeah.
It's like I can tell you plenty of times I didn't like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, and I didn't like going outside when it was freezing cold and running 2 miles or 3 miles. A lot of things I didn't like, but I did them because
But it
that
kept
was
you in
what was
shape.
required. It kept me in shape.
That's what you had to do.
That's what I had to do, so I just did it. You know, just a procession of it. When you're going to want to do something, then you have to have a plan, and you have to follow that plan. And you know, and everything doesn't work out. You know, I wish I could say, you know, everything was great. You know, along the way, but you know, I made my share of mistakes, and probably a lot more than I should have if I'd have followed that basic principle. Which by the time I was in my 30s, I did do. But right at, you know, 22, 23, 24 years old, when I was discharged, I was 22 and turned 23 4 months later. But I still was, you know, I was better than I was when I went in. And then when I got out into the real world, you know, I don't, how do I put this? You know, pay attention to what's going on. You can tell me something, and you know I'm gonna believe you until you prove yourself
Right.
wrong.
Sure.
You know, like I say, you just do what you have to do to achieve what you want to achieve. And you know, it's always better to get along with people than to create enemies. Now that's not to say that you know everybody's your friend, but you know, I really believe that friendship is a limited number of people. But you'll have a lot of acquaintances going through life, and you know you just segregate the two. You know, but you treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
So what about? So that goes kind of into the teamwork part. So self-discipline is important because self-discipline is going to, you know, it's going to get you up. You know,
It's going to put you on the path
Yeah.
that you choose, and you know, and setbacks are just that. They're setbacks. You know, it doesn't mean you quit because something didn't go your way.
A lot of
you know?
times they're learning opportunities.
Well, that definitely so. You know, so.
Toughest life lessons sometimes are learned that way, which is important. I feel like we live in a society where
We have to get
you
along.
can't fail.
You know, and,
But it's a society now where you know you can't fail. You know, but really failing, you know, is just part of learning. So you know, if really the people who achieve their goals are the ones who don't quit on them, I guess. So you need that
I agree
self-discipline.
with that.
And I've heard a lot of people say, I've said myself, the world would probably be a better place. Our country would be if everybody went in the military and got some of that.
Well, you know,
self-discipline.
like I say, discipline is self-discipline, especially. You know, you discipline. Most people think that's you got somebody telling you what to do. Well, that may be. You know, I don't care what you do.
We always have somebody.
You're going to
tell
have
you.
somebody telling you what to do. You just have to decide what
Your
you want
sister
to
tells
do.
me what to do all the time.
Huh?
Your sister tells me what to do all the time.
Yeah, so you try to me too. But you know, you just you do what you have to do. I know it's that simple. You know, you set a goal and you lay out what you need to do and you follow that goal.
So it's hard to accomplish your goals in life without working with other people, which is part
That's
of teamwork, right?
That's the teamwork
So-
and the people skills too. For that
So it's
matter.
not the Marine, United States Marines, it's the United States Marines, plural, right? So it's
Right.
multiple people.
Yeah.
And you're in platoons, right?
Right.
And you know, you
Then in that platoon, you're broken down into different sections in that platoon. You know, in my particular case, I was a radio operator that was trained in close air support. Went to naval school up at Little Creek for that specific purpose, and was stationed in Camp Lejeune, what we call the Triple Deuce, which is 2nd Battalion, 2nd Marines, 2nd Marine Division. I was in communications platoon because I'm a communicator, and I was in the sub-section called TAC Party, which was Tactical Air Control Party, which was, we controlled air on a battalion level. So, you know, and we had wired people in wire, we had, we didn't have computers back in that day, on that level, you know, and we had regular people that worked with artillery that worked with the 81 mortars back in those days. And that's basically what a communications platoon did. Plus, it was the message center for communication from battalion to the companies.
Okay.
So.
Cool. That's a very important job.
Yep.
And you were trained at Little Creek, Virginia?
Little Creek, Virginia. I think it was 6 weeks of school, and it was like a, it was like a job. We started classes, I think, about 8 o'clock. We went for about 3 hours. We went to lunch, and then we had classes for another 3 hours in the afternoon. And just, map reading's part of that. How to, calibrate a compass. Get on the radio when there's certain procedures you follow, and you would call in the aircraft. You had their call sign. You'd call them and you'd tell them, give them coordinates, and then they would have to find their way to where the coordinates were. And actually, we did a lot of live fire, and in Bear Creek, which is at Camp Lejeune, the gunnery range there. And then I was stationed in Hawaii, on Oahu at Kaneohe Bay, and we had a live fire island called Kalawi, which is right across from Maui. And so we'd just give them coordinates, and then they'd find their way, and we'd tell them what the target was and what the ammunition we wanted to use, which was either rockets, bombs, napalm, and cannon or strafing.
And they go bomb the island. They could bomb somewhere on the island.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did. Yeah, and on Kalawi was a live fire island that the government took over right at World War II for training then, and it is now no longer in existence. The same as the Vieques, Puerto Rico, was also a live fire island that we worked on in Puerto Rico. And I don't think it's a live fire. I don't know if there are any more, quite frankly.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure there are. So,
I'm sure they are somewhere.
Sure.
Out in the desert, from what
Yeah.
I understand. And
so that took a lot of teamwork, right? Just to
Yeah.
To coordinate, to work with everyone.
mhm.
I mean, it doesn't work unless,
No,
You work together.
you got to work together.
and that's a real world application outside of the
Yeah.
military as well.
Same thing when I got out and got a job. Same thing. You had a group of people that you had to work with, and different people had different skills, and those people, you're successful because you're smart enough to get the person that's smarter than you, and you don't let that bother you. You just get them to do,
Sure.
get them to tell you what to do without them realizing they're telling you what to do.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
My dad was in the military. And one of the things he told me a long time ago, which took me a while to figure out, is, and you have to be secure in yourself to do this, is to always hire people who are smarter than you are.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's a pretty smart guy.
Well,
But I mean, he would put together good teams, really good teams. They could get it done. Yeah. So, and the third one was
people skills.
Yeah, people skills.
Yeah.
How is going into the
Oh,
Marine
it's-
Corps going to give you any people skills?
Well, first of all, it takes you
You
out
guys
of
are
the
trained killers.
Well, yes, yeah, true. Suppose we claim to be, and that's true. But it takes you out of an environment of which you're comfortable,
Right.
generally as you grow up, and it's like when I was growing up. My world consisted when we were in Shelby
Yeah.
of Elizabeth Baptist Church,
People in
Elizabeth School, and my relatives.
Yeah.
Then we moved to Charlotte, and I was 10 years old when we moved to Charlotte. And then I saw a lot of things there that I didn't see here. Southern Baptists are a strange breed. And I was taught at an early age that if you were a Southern Baptist, you weren't going to heaven. I go to Charlotte, and 2 houses down from me lives Catholics. Across the street from him lived some Jews, and those were people that I were told were never going to make it. And I would say within a couple of months, I realized they weren't any different than I was.
Right.
And So we built friendships starting there that I still have to this day. As a matter of fact, I play golf on a regular basis with the Catholic guy, and he was in Vietnam. He's 2 years, no, yeah, 2 years younger than I, and he was in Vietnam and severely injured in 1968. I was out, like I said, in '67, but we've been playing golf together since he came back from the hospitals and stuff back in 1969, and to the present day with, you know, so, you know, you just do it.
It exposes you to a lot of different people.
Yeah, and you know, like say you that's what you need if you're going to get along in the world. You know, that everybody's not going to be like you, and they're not going to be in your group.
And in the military, it puts you in with people from all over the United States. And when I was in, you know, people from other countries too. They can come to the Philippines, and there's I want to say Nigeria. Was it, or was it Liberia? I think can enter. We had people from different countries who have agreements, you know, that can enter the U.S. military. Puerto Rico, just tons of different ethnicities.
Well, we had a lot of Puerto Ricans, and we also had I served with, I'm gonna say about at least 4 or 5 Canadians.
Okay.
3 of them being French Canadians, the other 2 just being over from the middle of over as far as Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's you just have to learn.
Your world gets a lot bigger too.
Yeah, it is.
When you agree, you become much more worldly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You do. I mean, you know, and
well, you're not as isolated, and
you
you're
get
not
to learn
as.
to hold. I remember some of my mortal enemies at first in boot camp became some of my best friends. Like I had this knucklehead guy from the Bronx who would not quit busting my chops because I was a Southern hick at that point in time, right?
Right.
And I'm sure I sounded like Jethro to him, you know. And at some point, I got tired of that crap. And you know, we came pretty close to having it out in a big way. And then you know, you learn to respect each other and work that out. And move on.
And you know, I think you learn to respect because you're working in those circumstances for the same thing, for the same goal.
Yeah.
And as long as you're on the same page, you know, the respect is there. And the other thing is, you know, you can't respect somebody if you don't respect yourself. You know, it's hard to respect, you know, somebody that you don't necessarily agree with, but you learn over time that as long as if they really believe something, you know, you can agree to disagree. And that's a common phrase I hear all the time, but it's not meant in earnest by a lot of people that say it, you know. You know, I say it, and I agree with it. You don't have to agree with me. You know, I'm lucky if you agree with me 65% of the time. I'm satisfied with that, you know. But I don't have much tolerance for my way or the highway from anybody, period.
Sure.
You know, and so, but.
It makes you much more open-minded.
Well, you have to be, because it ain't going to go your way all the time.
It's not. No. I agree.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah. I mean, so great. I appreciate you coming on and doing this today.
Oh,
it's
my pleasure.
Absolutely. So, you know, I really do. You know, the top 3 things that you took out of the military as a Marine, which you don't think of this going in. Maybe you do self-discipline, but is self-discipline, teamwork, and people skills. Nothing will give you people skills like throwing you in with a bunch of other kids
it's living
from all over the world and the United States.
Well, like you were talking about the southern part. Most of the people I served with were not Southerners.
No, yeah,
Same thing. You know, it's like when I went somewhere. I was at, like I said, when I was in school in Virginia. I went back to Tutu. I was there for almost 2 years before I went to First Anglico over in Hawaii.
I was much more of a character to them, I guarantee.
Yeah.
They were.
And I checked in, when I checked in, the guy was a corporal from named Larry Kelly, who was from Griffin, Georgia, and he said, "You from the South, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Where?" And I told him. And he said, "Well, I'm gonna get you checked in because I'm going to town tonight. Would you like to go?" I said, "Well, I don't have, a Liberty card." He said, "Well, I'll take care of that if you'll go." I said, "I'll go." And he said, "I said, why are you doing this?" He said, "Well, Southern guys got to stick together."
Stick together.
So I went to town the first night there, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
If anybody is in the military and gets stationed in Hawaii, you can't find a better duty station.
I went through Hawaii a couple of times, just visiting. Stops off with the aircraft carrier, Air Wing.
Which one were you
The Constellation.
Constellation.
And the Nimitz. Yeah.
I was trying to think today. My mind don't remember it. Doesn't go back. But my job, especially in Hawaii and in Anglica, was go to Kalawi to qualify carriers going to Nam. All carriers that went as well as cruisers and destroyers had to be qualified by Anglica before they went to duty station overseas. And I think I did 3 in Kalawi, and they took us one time back in 1967 in January. We went back to San Clemente. The Navy has a live fire station there.
Sure.
And I remember that one distinctly because we left Hawaii and took all of our equipment, Jeep and trailers and radios, and got on a C-130 and took a 10-hour flight to get to San Diego.
Yeah,
At
that's
North
where I was
Island.
stationed. I was stationed.
Okay, and then we stayed in the transit barracks while I was there. We were there for the whole month. We left on New Year's Day and came back on the 31st of January, and we worked the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and complained. And the rest of the time we were off.
in San Diego.
in Treasure, in North Island.
North Island, yeah.
At the transit barracks.
That's a nice base.
Yeah, and it was the Bahama Richard. I remember that.
They've got a good
Ship.
golf course on that base.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that's the first round of golf I ever played.
Was it really?
Really. With my buddies, rode around and been to driving range and been to putt. I never played golf in my life. And we were there and we had all this free time and they could do pretty much what we wanted to because our ALO left. He had stuff to do, so we could do what we wanted to. And there was 3 guys who played golf and said, let's go play golf. They got a good golf course there. Nobody else, and there were 7 of us, 6 of us and an officer. And nobody else wanted to play. And they said, I said, I've never played, but I don't mind going and give me something to do. So I went, and this is no lie now. I shot 110 and I beat the other 3 guys. I never played a round of golf in my life.
Right.
I just hit the ball at the driving range, and that's all. So I said, man, this is great. I'm going to take up golf when I get back home. I got back home, and first job I had, the guy played golf. Said, "You want to play golf?" I said, "Sure." So I went out and bought the clubs and everything, went and played golf, and I didn't break 130 for the next 3 or 4 years after I took it up,
Yeah.
But I got better as time progressed.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that course out there is, it's like a resort golf course. On the
Well,
lake.
we had one at same at Kaneohe Bay. It was supposed to be
Oh, I'm
one
sure.
of the better ones.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And I had been over there on police detail, and any veteran will tell you what police detail is. I'd been over there, but I had never had a desire to play, because when we got off, I went to Waikiki. I didn't have time to do anything, and we spent our weekends in Waikiki, which was interesting and fun.
Mopping up bars.
No, I'm not a big drinker, but
I thought you meant police duty, maybe going out and making sure the Marines were all.
No.
straight and stuff like that.
SP still did that.
Oh, okay,
Harbor,
okay.
People did that.
I thought that's what you meant. Yeah.
No. Police details, janitors picking up paper, picking up cigarette butts.
Oh, are they? Okay.
That's what that is. That's
Okay.
cleanup. And when I went to Hawaii, I knew the Japanese had bombed it and they had pineapples.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
That's all you knew about Hawaii.
That's really about it, and it was the 50th state because
Sure.
it was 59. I was in junior high school in 59. That's about all I knew. And I'd seen some Charlie Chan movies, which only had one, I think, in Hawaii. But anyway, when I got there, and I found out the #1 industry is the military.
Yeah.
Not any of that. The second industry is tourism. The largest group of tourists, single young ladies from 18 to 24. I'm 22 years old. 23.
Sure.
20, no, yeah. 20, yeah, 22, yeah. 20 and 21.
Gotcha.
And so that fit right in for
Sure.
what I needed to do. And met a lot of people from far, Asian countries, and a lot of people from New Zealand and Australia.
Right.
And they have a tradition that in New Zealand and Australia, but more so in New Zealand, where they go back to the mother country, which may be Canada, which may be England, or wherever it is, when they finish high school, within 1 or 2 years. And I bet I met 30, at least that many. That's what they were doing. They were on their sojourn, as they call
Like
it.
a pilgrimage or something.
Yeah,
Goes back there.
I think they said sojourn.
Sojourn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sojourn.
and it was interesting.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Valuable life lessons, and I think I do. I think our young people today could really benefit from
Yeah, I do too,
those
you know.
things that you learned in the military. All right. Well, thank you. This has been
Okay.
no lunch with a veteran today, right? But
Well, I
just
had
hanging out with a
lunch.
veteran.
I had lunch.
There you go.
I had lunch.
And we'll continue to bring these to you. Thank you so much,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
I appreciate it.